All right, good day, everybody, and welcome to Headline Hits with LW. It is Wednesday, July the 6th, 2022. A lot of things popping in the news today. Let's get right after it. So, some of these things I want to bring to your attention and highlight because they're very disturbing. This one here, of course, I have my opinion on it, but I want to share this with you. Police, soldiers, scouts, healthcare workers join Pride Parade. What's that all about? Well, members of once neutral institutions in Britain, such as the Metropolitan Police, the Natural Health Services, which is the NHS, the Fire Brigade, and the Armed Forces, joined with the crowds at the annual Pride Parade in London. Okay, why I'm bringing this up, you guys can catch this article in Breitbart if you choose to read further. I don't want to read anymore because it definitely just makes me sick to my stomach. These institutions were once neutral, meaning they had no political lines, they had no political views. Yes, privately and individually, they have that right to be Republican, Democrat, liberal, whatever, there in the UK. But it goes on here in America as well. What sickens me is that now the police and the armed forces, the nurses, and the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts of America, and I guess all around the world, are now being subject to all this stuff. They're out there dancing. It's an absolute disgusting display of half nude and sometimes completely nude people in front of children. They've got children buying into this nonsense as well. Hey, I'm all about individualism. I'm all about loving who you want to love. But this is become nothing more than a gateway to groom our children and honestly to attack our kids and to devour them. And I 100% disagree with this display. All right, next article of today, I just want to touch on real quick. Everybody knows what happened in Illinois. Law enforcement seized knives, swords from Hyde Park shooting suspect 3 years prior to his rampage. The Hyde Park Police Department seized 16 knives, a dagger, and a sword from the suspect accused of the shooting at the 4th of July parade in Hyde Park, Illinois, 3 years before his rampage. Um, uh, well, 3 years he's been on the radar, and this still happens. And of course, the Democrats yesterday came out and said that they are going to try really hard to do whatever it takes to gain 2 more seats in the Senate. Why are they going to do that? Because they want to do away with the filibuster in the Senate and they want stricter gun laws here in America. Well, Illinois sets at the top with the highest, one of the highest gun restricted states in the United States, which is number 6. They come in at number 6. They already have stringent background checks. They already have all of these red flag laws there in Illinois, and this still happened. So it's just a narrative, and it's just one more thing that they try to come after us for our Second Amendment. All right, let's go on to Texas. Texas Border County officially declares invasion, urges governor to follow. What's that all about? Well, we've been talking about it for 18 months here at LWN, the southern border, and all the illegal immigrants not just walking across the border, but flooding the border. Now, the Supreme Court has ruled Title 42 to go away, and it is really just bringing more and more people across our border. Breckettville, Texas, Kidney County, Texas declared an extensive of invasion along the Texas border with Mexico. The declaration calls for Texas Governor Greg Abbott to also acknowledge the existence of the invasion on our border with Mexico. 5 other counties spoke in support of Kinney County's declaration. So now there are counties in Texas starting to stand up and demand that the governor do something about it. My question is, why didn't the governor do something about it 18 months ago? Why is it taking now for him to actually act? Now, remember, we reported months ago that he was considering bringing in the National Guard on the border. Is that going to stop all border crossers? Probably not, but I would think that as governor of those states on the border, you should at least try to do something to stop those illegals from coming across. Next headline I found pretty silly. Poll done. Donald Trump leads Joe Biden in a 2024 matchup. What's that all about? Former President Donald Trump leads President Joe Biden in a hypothetical 2024 presidential matchup. June's Harvard Caps Harris poll revealed this is what they revealed. The survey, which happened to show Trump standing as the most popular politician in the country, pitted Trump against Biden in a hypothetical matchup. In that scenario, Trump led Biden by 3 percentage points, 43% to 40%. Another 17% remain unsure. If you guys would like to catch the article, again, you can catch it in Breitbart. This is what I have to say. I say horse crap. There's no way that Trump is only leading Biden by 3 points. That's an absolute bull crap poll. It's got to be something like 90 something percent to maybe double digits if Biden is lucky. I don't know where they found 40% of America that would vote for Biden again, but this is an absolute BS poll. I don't believe it, not for 1 minute. All right, next headline. Let's talk about this. Now that the fake media want Biden gone in 2024, they protest press restrictions. Well, before I read part of this article to you guys, I just want to say I heard the other day that Liz Cheney was thinking about throwing her name in the hat to run for president in 2024. Are you kidding me? Liz Cheney? Yeah, you might as well run as a Democrat. If they don't want Biden in, change your status to Democrat. You could run for a Democrat. You, Hills Up, Hillary, Buddha Butt. What a crew you guys would make. I think all of you should be voted in. All right. The corporate media have asked the White House to end press restrictions on who is and is not allowed to attend big events and ask questions. These fake journalists are so sleazy and transparent that you have to laugh. For the last 18 months, his fraudulency, Joe Biden has been in office. The corporate media have said nothing about Biden using the China flu to restrict access to the big press avails. Worse still, for 18 months, Biden has also called on reporters based on a pre-screening process that from his staff and uses an actual list from his staff, something I've never seen before. So I say to the lamestream media, why now do you want to do your jobs? Why now do you want restrictions lifted? You guys have been nothing more than an extension of the Democrat Party and nothing more than puppets. Why do you want to do your job now? What's going on that we need to know about? That's what you guys should read into that article. All right, here's the next headline that I wanted to cover. Trump says Joe Biden cutting off U.S. tariffs would be the greatest gift to China. Former President Donald Trump says the potential of President Joe Biden to cut off United States tariffs on China would be the greatest gift China could ever receive. For months, as Breitbart News has reported, Biden, along with his top, listen to this, globalists, have suggested that they may soon cut billions of dollars worth of U.S. tariffs on China-made products for the first time since Trump imposed the tariffs. Most recently, reports have circulated that Biden is considering eliminating U.S. tariffs on $10 billion worth of China-made products like bicycles. That would come even as economists have admitted that cutting U.S. tariffs would do very little to impact inflation. So this is the administration's answer to hyperinflation. We're going to cut tariffs on China and give China a break and continue to screw the American people. All right, here's a headline that's concerning to me. These are the people that are teaching our children, folks. And I want you to listen to the last paragraph I'm going to read in this article. In MSNBC's guest were slaves to an ancient constitution causing tragedies. Georgetown University Law School professor Rosa Brooks said on MSNBC during Tuesday's broadcast of the readout that Americans were slaves to the U.S. Constitution, she said was written by a tiny group of white slave owning men. All right. Now, these are people that are influencing our young minds. It's not only just in law schools or universities or colleges or community colleges. These people end up in our high schools, in our elementary schools. These people are sick. But I want to read part of the last paragraph for you guys in this article. I want you to see where she's coming from. And these are the talking points that she's using to our young people. She's referring to America as we have done this to ourselves, right? This is us. This is 100% us. And it's because we are essentially slaves to a document that was written more than 230 years ago by a tiny group of white slave owning men. And we cannot break out of the bondage that we have imposed on ourselves from feeling like we have to. Now, I want to stop for just a minute there. This document, it's a living document. This document was written by our founding fathers. The Constitution was created by using the Bible as well. And this document, this ancient document, has saved America from becoming a full-blown communist country over and over again. But this is the type of rhetoric. This is the propaganda machine that is in our colleges, our universities, our law schools, our elementary schools, our high schools. This is the stuff that they're teaching our children. This document is outdated. It's ancient. It was written by a tiny group of white slave-owning men, and we're in bondage. Americans are slaves. We're in bondage. We can't get away from this document. Let's read a little bit further. Everything by our Supreme Court is decided in reference to this ancient document, which is just not serving us well. It is causing enormous problems and enormous tragedies at this point. Now, earlier in this article, she was talking about how the document, the ancient document, which is the Constitution of the United States, gives us our amendments and our rights. And the Second Amendment, she's talking about AR-15s, how people can just go in and purchase an AR-15 and shoot and kill people. And this document is causing these tragedies. It's allowing people to do this. Well, my opinion is people like this should immediately be removed from our education system because that's what's causing the problems that we have in America today. All right, last headline for today, folks. I found this one very interesting. Really fired me up. So listen to this. When you didn't think things could get any worse, when you didn't think that the dumpster fire coming from the current administration could get any bigger, any hotter, any brighter, well, let's read what this article has to say about the Joe Biden administration. Joe Biden ships, and I'm not going to stutter. I'm going to read this real slow for you guys so that you don't mistake what I'm about to say. Joe Biden ships U.S. oil reserves to foreign countries. Yeah, I didn't stutter on that one. Because he hates Americans, President Joe Biden is shipping much needed American oil to foreign countries, including, China. China Joe shipping our oil reserves to China. Let's read a little bit further. Are you hot under the collar yet? Because I sure am. The whole idea of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, which is the SPR, if you guys aren't aware of that, that is our energy, Department of Energy's reserves. They typically use those for emergencies and or for potential declaration of war. Remember that Donald Trump, right before he left office in 2020, when fuel was at an all-time low, crude oil was at an all-time low, OPEC was sitting there flooding the market with cheap crude. Trump went in and bought crude for pennies on a dollar. He actually filled up the entire reserve. It's 700 million barrels. He filled it all up. It's the first time that's been done since probably around Bush, maybe even earlier than that. Obama depleted the reserve, and Trump came back and topped it off. Okay, so let's read a little bit more. The SPR, which is owned by the United States government, specifically the U.S. Department of Energy, is to hold on to about 700 million barrels of oil in the event of a emergency or a disruption, right? So, but now, because of Joe Biden has closed pipelines, killed oil and gas leases, refused to allow refining to expand, and has gone to war with affordable energy, the SPR is releasing about 1 million gallons a day into the U.S. economy. Instead of doing something permanent and useful, instead of solving the crisis he has created that put gas $5 a gallon, he's looking to steady his collapsing poll numbers by squandering our reserves. This isn't bad enough, so bad that the SPR is now at the lowest level since 1986. Did you guys just hear what I said? Not since 1986 has our 7 million barrels on reserve have been this low. What is Joe Biden doing? Well, when it comes to punishing the American people, he is so obviously lows. That's not bad enough and never enough for Biden. Nope. He always finds a way to take his contempt for America and Americans a step further, which he has. Get this. More than 5 million barrels of oil that were part of the historic U.S. emergency reserve release to lower domestic fuel prices were exported to Europe and Asia just last month. Now, 5 million, that's kind of like a spit in the bucket, right? That's not a whole lot. I worked in North Dakota for over a decade, and we were pumping out millions and millions of barrels a day. That's just a spit in the bucket. But what I want to spotlight here is amidst the highest gas prices in U.S. history, high inflation, high gas prices, high grocery prices, high rent, high housing prices, everything is at an extreme high. This guy has the stones to turn and go behind the American people's back and start selling off our reserves to not just Europe, but he's also selling it to China. What the hell for? China has made a deal with Russia. China's getting crude oil from Russia. Europe is getting crude oil from Russia. Why would we be selling off our reserves? I just want to make you think about that for just a minute. Pay attention to what this administration is doing. They are on a steamrolling path to destroying America, and it's absolutely blatantly obvious to me. All right, that's it for today, folks, for Headline Hits. I'll be on later this afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Podbean, and then back later tonight with a new guest. Don't miss it, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. I've got a new guest tonight. Never seen before. It's going to be truly amazing, so don't miss out. God bless. We'll see you on the next one.